Welcome to the latest tennis updates. Today we're going to discuss criticisms of player treatment, injuries, and emotional moments. Let's go! ATP. Casper Ruud is surprised and Wimbledon goes wild. British wildcard Liam Broady won the biggest victory of his career and starred in the biggest upset of Wimbledon 2023 so far, this Thursday, 6, by beating Norwegian Casper Ruud, number 4 in the world. Broady, number 142 in the ranking, defeated Ruud in 5 sets, partials of 6-4, 3-6, 4-6, 6-3 and 6-0, in 3.5 hours. A declared fan of Manchester City, the English tennis player received a message of support from his team, which has been lucky, before the start of the tournament. In front of a crowd on centre court, Broady managed to overcome a rival who, in addition to being one of the best in the world at the moment, has reached 3 finals of the last 5 Grand Slams. After winning the first set, the 29-year-old Briton was beaten in the next 2 sets, and his dream looked like it would end there. But the Norwegian couldn't keep up the pace, lost the 4th part and was completely dominated in the decisive set. It was a terrifying and exhilarating experience to walk onto centre court at Wimbledon, but it's been my dream since I was 5 years old, Broady said after the win. In the 3rd round, the Briton faces Canadian Denis Shapovalov. Jannik Sinner defies the rules and wears a patterned bag at Wimbledon. During his participation in Wimbledon, the Italian tennis player Jannik Sinner drew attention when he entered the court with a personalized bag that did not follow the tradition of white colors of the tournament. Sinner's team had to obtain several authorizations to allow the use of the bag, made by an Italian brand. The unique piece featured brown and gold colors, with green and red handles, which broke championship regulations requiring competitors to wear almost entirely white attire. According to Wimbledon rules, players must be dressed in appropriate clothing and shoes, predominantly white, from the moment they enter the court, excluding shades such as off-white or cream. The thrilling match between Stefanos Tsitsipas and Andy Murray had to be postponed until tomorrow due to a possible injury scare for Murray. By the time the game was 2-1 to Murray, currently ranked 40th, he was caught off guard, slipped and was in pain, falling to the ground and putting his hand on his left groin. Following the incident, the time limit set at Wimbledon allowed the match to be postponed to tomorrow, July 7th. Now, tennis fans are eagerly awaiting to see how the match unfolds after this scare and interruption. WTA. In the thrilling match between Elena Rybakina and Alize Cornet at Wimbledon, defending champion Rybakina, 24, battled her way to the 3rd round. Although the 6-2, 7-6 victory looked comfortable on paper, the game was far from straightforward. After a dominant first set, Rybakina struggled when her game strategy didn't work out so well. Cornet, an experienced French player playing her 66th consecutive Grand Slam tournament, used her wits to stay in the game. Rybakina made a few mistakes and the match became tense at 5-5, with Cornet having 5 opportunities to break before suffering an awkward fall and needing treatment. Rybakina managed to hold her serve on the 10th point of the game, but was still nervous going into the tiebreak. Eventually, the 3rd seed emerged victorious, but her performance wasn't entirely convincing. Now, she is preparing to face Katie Boulter, 26, a British player invited to the women's tournament. Alize Cornet, a French tennis player and former world number 11, stated on Thursday that top-ranked players receive better treatment at Wimbledon compared to those with lower rankings. Cornet, who was eliminated in the 2nd round, expressed her observations about the disparities in treatment at different Grand Slam tournaments. She explained, "It's different treatment at each slam. When I'm at home, at Roland Garros, I have priorities on the courts, I know everyone, I can ask when I want to play. I feel like the organization does everything for the French player to succeed there." Cornet went on to describe the discrepancies in treatment and ticket allocation at Wimbledon. She mentioned receiving only 2 tickets for her first-round victory on an outer court but was given 40 tickets for her match against Rybakina on the center court, which is not surprising considering the larger capacity of the center court, 15,000 seats. "This explains everything," Cornet told reporters. "Nobody could come. I couldn't even invite one of my close friends who was there. 2 tickets on an outer court is very little. More credit should be given to players competing on the outer courts. This tournament exists because of all the players, not just the ones playing on the big courts. Cornet acknowledged that the US Open and the Australian Open were fairer in their treatment, but she also noted that the best way to receive preferential treatment was to climb up the rankings. Of course, you feel a little more comfortable when you're a better player, but that's how society works. The better you are, the more advantages you have. That's how it works, she said. Bia Haddad started badly, but resists and beats Cristian by 2-1. See the best moments. The Brazilian gained confidence in herself throughout the match. Until today, her most expressive result in the tournament had been the second round, in 2017-2019. The campaign confirms the good moment she experienced in 2023. Last month, she reached the semi-finals at Roland Garros. The result also shows Bia Haddad's great reaction power. This was her 9th upset victory in 2023. In that regard, she is second only to Anastasia Potapova, who has already turned games in 10 opportunities. With the qualification guaranteed, Bia Haddad now faces another Romanian, Sorana Cîrstei, who overcame Elena Ostapenko, from Latvia, also on the comeback.